Hi guys, good day. It's me, Teacher MJ. Our topic for today class is all about graphing an ellipse with center at 0, 0, finding the vertices, the foci, the length of the latus rectums, and the directrices. So without further ado, let's do this topic. So we will have two examples class for you to really understand this one. Now for number 2 example class, we will just make another video for this one class because we need to explain class number 1 step by step. And I will just put the link on the description down below with regards to example number 2 class. Let's focus first in example number 1. Alright, so before we graph example number 1 class is we need to understand more with regards to the equation of the ellipse. Now the equation of the ellipse class, it says x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1, and this will be your expected graph. Now if you have x squared over b squared plus y squared over a squared equals 1, this will be your expected graph. Now let me just explain this one class. Once again class, this equation class, our center is at 0, 0. The value of your h and the value of your k is 0, 0 if you have this kind of equation. Always remember this one class that in ellipse, a is always greater than b. Once again, in ellipse, a is always greater than b. Therefore, if a is a line on x squared, our longest diameter class will be on x-axis, and this is what we call the major axis. Once again, if a is a line on x squared, the longest diameter will be on x-axis, and this is what we call the major axis. Now, if a is a line on y squared, therefore our longest diameter will be located on y-axis, and this is what we call the major axis. So therefore, in this first graph, we have horizontal major axis. In our second graph, we have vertical major axis. Now the question there is, how will we know that a is a line on x squared or a is a line on y squared? Now you will know that one class with regards to the denominators of the given equation. Example, if you have x squared over 36 plus y squared over 25 equals 1, of course, you know a is a line on x squared. Question, why is that? Because 36 is greater than 25, and we know that a is greater than b, right, in ellipse. Therefore, our a is a line on x squared. But this is not our a class. 36 is not our a because we need to get the square root of 36, and that would be the value of our a. But we know class that a is a line on x squared because 36 is greater than 25. We will explain that later on class on how to get the value of a. So I hope you're not confused class with regards to major axis and with regards to the graph. Now let's talk about directrix. So in this given ellipse class, we have two directrix. We call this one in plural form, we call that one directrices. So this will be our equation. So once again, if a is a line on x squared, this will be our equation. X equals positive negative a squared over c. And if a is a line on y squared, that would be y equals positive negative a squared over c. And for the latus rectum class, this will be our equation 2b squared over a. Once again, we do have two latus rectums. In plural form, we call that one latera recta. Okay, 2b squared over a. Now you can also have this equation class b squared over a. This is half the length of the latus rectum. Do not be confused class because there are some teachers that they will give you this formula. This is just half the length of the latus rectum. And we also have 2b squared over a, b squared over a. Same formula with regards to this one. Alright, so if you understand this one class, we'll be explaining this one. We will solve the latus rectum, we will solve the directrices, we will graph. Okay, we'll find the value of a, b, and c. Alright, so let's start class finding a, b, and c with regards to our given example. Let's start with example number 1. Alright, so let's graph this one. Once again class, if you have this kind of equation, that's automatic class, your center will be at 0, 0. Alright, so center, that would be h and k, that would be 0, 0. Alright, so this is h and this is k, 0, 0. Alright, let's find the value of a. Once again class, our a is below x squared because 16 is greater than 4 and a is always greater than b. So once again class, check the equation. It says x squared over a squared plus y squared over b squared equals 1. So we will be using this equation class. Once again, we need to use this equation because 16 is greater than 4. So we will be copying this equation. So that will be x squared over a squared. Therefore, a squared is equal to 16. Once again, class, the equation a squared is equal to 16 and b squared is equal to 4. So we need to find the value of a and b. So a squared equals 16. Alright, so let's find a. So once again, a squared equals to 16. So to get the value of a, you extract square root both sides. Extract square root both sides so that we can cancel this out. And our a is equals to 4. Alright, so therefore a is equals to 4. So a is equals to 4. And then let's find b. So once again, b squared is equals to 4. B squared is equals to 4. Always remember, class, the equation. Alright, so x squared over a squared, y squared over b squared. Therefore, b squared is equals to 4. Alright, to find the value of b, you extract square root both sides so that you can cancel the exponent. Cancel this out. The square root of 4, that is 2. So therefore, b is equals to 2. Alright, b is equals to 2. So we have now the value of a and the value of b. So next step, class, we need to find the value of c, the foci, or the focus. Once again, class, in this ellipse, class, we do have two focus. We call this one foci. Okay? We call this one foci. Now, how to get the foci, sir? So to get the focus, the formula, there will be c squared equals a squared minus b squared. So to find the value of c for the focus, a squared minus b squared. So our a is 4. Once again, our a is 4. So 4 squared minus our b is 2. 2 squared. So this will be 4 squared. It doesn't mean 4 times 2. It means 4 times 4. So 4 squared, it means 4 times 4. That is 16. Minus 2 squared, it means 2 times 2. That is 4. So 16 minus 4. What's the answer, class? That's correct. 16 minus 4. That is 12. So c squared is equals to 12. So extract square root both sides so that we can cancel this out. Alright, so c is equal to, do we have square root of 12, class? Is 12 a perfect square? Nope, 12 is not a perfect square. So we need to simplify. You find two numbers that one number is a perfect square, the other is not. Okay, once again, you find two numbers that one number is a perfect square, the other is not. So therefore, square root of 12, class, we can simplify this one by square root of 4 times 3, right? 4 is a perfect square, then 3 is not. When we multiply, we will get 12. Once again, class, square root of 12, we need to simplify. We find two numbers that one number is a perfect square, the other is not, that when you multiply, you will get 12. Of course, that will be 4 and 3. 4 is a perfect square, then 3 is not. So the square root of 4, you put it outside. Square root of 4, that is 2. And then we don't have square root of 3, so copy square root of 3. So the final answer, that would be 2 square root of 3. Alright, so c is equal to 2 square root of 3. Now we need to get the decimal of this one, class, because it's hard for us to graph 2 square root of 3. Because our given numbers, class, are integers. Okay, we have whole numbers. So this is, let's graph, because we need to graph the focus, class, we need to have the decimal for us to have the estimated value. Because we cannot graph 2 square root of 3 in this given Cartesian plane, class. It's hard for us. Okay, so we need to have the decimal value for 2 square root of 3. So 2 square root of 3, the equivalent for that is 3.46. 3.464. So 3.464. After 4, that's 6. After 6, that's 4. So we need to round down. Simply copy 6. Okay, after 6, that's 4. So if this is 5, we can round up. This is 7, but since this is 4, round down. Simply copy 3.46. So this is approximately 3.46. Alright, so we have our A, we have our B, we have our C, and approximately 3.46. Now, if you have your A, you have your B, you have your C, you can now graph this one, class. Alright, so let's graph this one, class. Once again, our A is a line on x squared. Therefore, class, our major axis is a line on x-axis. So our A is 4, therefore we move 4 units to the right, starting from the center. Always remember this one, class, you start at the center. So our center is at 0, 0 at the origin. So you move 4 units to the right and another 4 units to the left. So 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be our first vertex. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, our second vertex. So this will be the vertices with regards to the major axis. Alright, and we also have the value of B. So once again, class, B is a line on y squared. Once again, B is a line on y squared, and our B is 2. So if it's y, class, you move 2 units upward and then 2 units downward if it's y axis. So our B is 2, so move 2 units upward, 1, 2. Alright, so this one. And another 2 units downward, 1, 2. So this will be the co-vertices. So let me just write the vertices, class, for us not to be confused. So vertices for the major axis, we have, so for our x is 4, positive 4, x. And then our y, of course, that's 0 for the origin. So 4, 0. And the other one, we have negative 4 and then 0. Alright, so for co-vertices, alright, so co-vertices, we have, so for y, that's positive 2, then for x is 0, so 0, then y is positive 2. The other one, x is 0, then y is negative 2. So I hope, class, you're not confused how to plot points in the Cartesian plane and to name the ordered pair. So that would be x and y for the ordered pair. So if you want to learn more about how to plot points, I will just put the link on the description down below with regards to plotting of points. So we have the vertices, the co-vertices. Next, class, is we need to label the focus. Now, question, where is the focus, sir? Now, always remember this one, class, that focus is always located on the major axis. Once again, focus is always located on the major axis. So our focus is 3.46 and our major axis, class, is a line on x-axis. Therefore, starting from the center, our focus is 3.46. You move 3.46 units to the right and 3.46 units to the left. So 1, 2, 3. Half is 3.50. 3.5, so near half, this one. Estimated, class, this is 3.46. Alright, this will be our focus, first focus. Once again, class, we do have 2 focus, and that's what we call foci. So 3.46 units to the left, 1, 2, 3. Next is 3.5, then half is 3.5, so 3.46. This one, class. So focus, let me just write it here. Vertices of the focus. So focus vertices, we have, or foci. Let's have foci because, okay, foci vertices. Because we have 2 focus, so foci vertices. Vertices. So we have, this is negative 3.46, 0 for y, and the other one, positive 3.46, then 0. Alright, so next step, class, is we need to find the length of the latus rectum. So the formula, once again, latus rectum equals 2b squared over a. So once again, copy 2, then the value of b, that's 2. So substitute the value of b, that's 2, then squared, over our a is 4. So once again, 2, then our b is 2, then squared over 4, our a is 4. So once again, do not multiply, class, 2 and 2, it should be parenthesis exponent. Okay, I hope you're not confused, class. Example, class, if you have 2, quantity 3 squared, do not multiply 2 and 3, class, it should be parenthesis exponent. You always follow PEMDAS, class. Parenthesis, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So copy 2, then 3 squared, it doesn't mean 3 times 2, it means 3 times 3. 3 squared, it means 3 times 3. 3 times 3, that's 9. So 2 times 9, that's 18. If you have example like this, class, the answer is 18. So in this scenario, class, copy 2. Simplify this one, parenthesis exponent, 2 squared, it means 2 times 2, that's 4. divide 4. So 2 times 4, that's 8. Divide 4. 8 divided by 4, that's 2. Therefore, class, the latus rectum is 2. The length of the latus rectum is 2. Therefore, from this focus, class, you move 1 unit upward, then 1 unit downward. Because the length, class, is 2. Once again, 1 unit upward. So let me just measure this one. 1 unit upward. So 1 unit upward. Alright, and then 1 unit downward. Okay, from this focus, class, you move 1 unit upward and then 1 unit downward. Same with this one. 1 unit upward. Alright, and then 1 unit downward. And this will be the length of the latus rectum, class. Now, there are some cases, class, that the teacher will give you this equation for the latus rectum. B squared over A. Once again, class, this equation, class, is just half of the latus rectum. Once again, this equation, class, is just half of the latus rectum. B squared over A. So let's try that. If we get 1, because half of 2, that's 1, right? So our B is 2. So 2, then squared over our A is 4. So 2 squared, of course, that's 2 times 2, that's 4. Divide 4, that would be 1. Okay, once again, this equation, class, is just half of the latus rectum. Therefore, if this is 1, 1 unit upward, then 1 unit downward. 1 unit upward, then 1 unit downward. Alright, so our latus rectum, that's 2. So let me just write it here. Our latus rectum is equal to 2. Alright, and then we can sketch this one, class. We already have the length of the latus rectum. Alright, and we have this focus, foci. We have 2 focus. We call this one foci. And we do have 2 length of the latus rectums. We call this one latera recta for the plural form of the latus rectum. So sketch this one, class. Alright, so we can sketch this one. Alright, so I'm sure, class, we cannot get a perfect ellipse for this one, class. Alright, so we can sketch this one to finalize our answer. Alright, so that's it, class, for our ellipse. And the vertices, of course, we need to get the vertices of this latus rectum. So these are the following vertices of the latus rectums. Alright, so the vertices, let me just write the vertices. LR vertices. So we have, this is 1 for X, that is negative 3.46. check, class, for the focus. This is negative 3.46. And then 1 unit. So 1 unit, this is more than 1, class. It should be negative 1. No, positive 1 for Y. Sorry. Alright, so this is, for the vertices X, is negative 3.46. So negative 3.46 for X-axis, and for Y, that's positive 1. Alright, and this one, the other one, this is, you can have negative 3.46, then positive, then negative 1, class. You can have this one, class. You can have this one, it means positive, negative 1, or you can write individually. Since we don't have enough space, class, you can just simply write same X, negative 3.46, then positive, negative 1. Because we don't have enough space. But if you want individually, we can do it individually. Then positive 1, the other one, negative 3.46, then negative 1 for Y. And this one, we have positive 3.46. So positive 3.46 for X. And then positive 1 for Y. And then we have positive 3.46. And then negative 1 for Y. All set, class, for the latus rectum vertices. Last one, class, directrix. Alright, so last one, class, let's find the directrix. Once again, class, if your major axis or your A is below x squared, your equation for the directrix, class, that would be x equals positive negative a squared over c. Once again, class, if your major axis is below x squared, your equation, that would be x equals positive negative a squared over c. If the center, class, it's at 0, 0. Alright, so simply substitute the value. So positive, negative, our a is 4, so 4 squared over our c, that's 3.46, approximately 3.46. Once again, class, the directrix, class, is actually parallel to the latus rectum. So the directrix is here, parallel to the latus rectum. Alright, so this will be 4 squared, so positive, negative, 4 squared, that is 16. 4 times 4, that's 16, divided by 3.46. So use your calculator. 16 divided by 3.46, that is 4.624. So 4.624. Okay, 4.624 after 2, that is 4, so round down, 4.62. Alright, so this is approximately positive negative 4.62. That's it, class, all set. And this will be our directrix 4.62. Now to sketch that one, class, in our ellipse, 4.62 positive negative 4.62 in our x-axis. So starting from the center, you move 4 units to the right, 4.62 units positive, and then negative 4.62 units to the left. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Once again, class, the directrix is parallel to the latus rectum. Alright, and it's beyond the ellipse, class. Okay, outside the ellipse, class. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 0.62, 0.5 is in the middle part. 0.62, more than 0.5. So this one right here. Alright, let me just label it in blue. This one right here. And on the left side, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 0.62, 0.5 is in the middle part. 0.62, this one right here. That's it, class. And then you sketch this one. Okay, the directrix is parallel to the latus rectum. That's it. And the other one. That's it, class. All set. So you can write the equation plus this one. Alright, so this equation right here, x equals, so this is negative 4.62. And this equation right here, class, the other equation, this one right here, that would be x equals positive 4.62. And that would be your directrix, class. All set, class. All set for this one. Alright, so I hope, class, you learned something new today with regards to this one. So quite complicated, right? But we need to explain this one, class, step by step. So we're done with the center, with the vertices, with the foci vertices, the latus rectum, the co-vertices, the focus, the directrix, or the latera recta. So I hope you learned something new today, class. If you like this video, do not forget to like, share, and subscribe. You share it to your friends and to your classmates so that we can help more students. Once again, class, this is Teacher MJ. Have a great day, class. Goodbye for now. Bye-bye.